Hey yo, welcome to Cabin Time. You feel me?
No way.
Listen, kid, you were a nightmare.
Come on,
Stuck in that trash can. You are a trash can, not a trash can, not.
Wow, guys, a whole month in, huh?
Woo.
Anyone feel burnt out yet? Because I sure don't.
Ah.
But welcome back to Cabin Time. We're out here, week by week, figuring it out. Sometimes our podcast can sound a little ghetto. Sometimes it can sound great, but
Maybe.
that's just the point of we're learning. This is our first time ever doing this.
Yeah.
If you have any better recommendations, then start your own podcast if you have a problem with that. But for some reason, I don't know. I was thinking about this today, though. Like, I was just posted up. Where was I even at? I worked from home today, so I think I was just sitting on my chair. But I was just really just thinking about PB.
Oh,
Since none of us here
thank you for
has
thinking
ever
about me.
been on a mission, can you please tell us what it's like? What do you even do on a mission?
Okay.
Like, what is that?
So, mission trips. Think of this, okay? You get to spend a week or 2 weeks or a month in another country or another state or somewhere, literally bringing the love of Jesus to people by building, helping build hospitals or buildings, delivering medicine, going to schools, and you can literally do anything and everything. Oftentimes, doing church services, delivering supplies that are needed, and all those various things. Honestly, your life gets transformed when you go through and encounter a mission trip. Like, even a 2-day mission trip will literally change your life. I remember the very first one I went to was Nicaragua, and I know I butchered that. I'm sorry,
He
everybody.
probably says that, though, huh? No, that sounded pretty good to
Oh,
me.
thank you guys. You should have heard
Well, I don't
what
know.
first time.
I'm not Nicaraguayan. What is that?
Oh gosh.
Nicaraguan?
Oh, crikey. Anyway, but no, it was super good because I went on my first one when I was 18, and we went to a place called Kukura Hill, and it was like literally nothing, no working toilets. Our toilet consisted of a bucket and some dirt. That's literally what our bathrooms were. But man, people were hungry for Jesus. They wanted to know of this God who loves them. And some of the people would walk hours and hours just to come and hear the gospel of Jesus. Yeah.
What is like? How do you know that they're hungry? Like, if you go there, do they actually know who Jesus is like beforehand? And they're like, hey, our missionaries are coming here.
So some of them do. Some of them obviously have the connection, but some of them don't. But they know that these Americans are coming, and man, that's big celebrity status. Even though the Western culture hates us, South America still loves us.
Oh, for real. I feel like with that, what am I saying here? Like, I feel like people are more hungry for like God in that essence, because that's kind of like really all they have to rely on. It's kind of like how I was talking about in one of the previous episodes, like why parents don't spoil their children, because then their children will feel like, just give me this when I want this. And in no way is America like super spoiled, but you see, like, when God gives us a little bit more than the other country, what turns out, 50% of us are believers and 50% aren't, rather than people who aren't spoiled by God.
That's right.
Say, like, like more poorer countries, it's a lot easier for them to believe and depend on Jesus.
Because of that fact that if they don't get food, that's it. There's no way of working hard. They make $2 a day in some of these countries, and
if that.
Yeah, so if they don't rely on God, it's basically GG's for them.
Yeah.
Using some of that.
And a lot of they real life, like, seriously pray for their next meal, and it comes to them, and that's why they have such strong faith, rather than us. We're like the spoiled kids, in America, we're the spoiled kids. That's why there's even people who hate God out here because they don't need to depend on him, and that's what happens when you spoil your kids in real life. Like, they don't need to depend on you. They just
that's good.
Yeah. But that could be an episode for another day. If you guys could go on a mission anywhere, where would you go? We'll start with PV. Where are you going?
Oh, if I could go anywhere, I am going to Greece.
Oh,
Let's go.
Well, if I could go to a mission anywhere, I haven't even been to a mission yet. So, if I could go anywhere,
If you say Gardena, I'm gonna slap you.
probably Downey.
Compton.
I don't know.
Wait, you just DDoSed us.
They don't know where that is.
Alrighty. Where?
Huh?
Where?
I don't know. You said South America,
South America's pretty.
so I'm just gonna say South America.
Okay.
You got Brazil.
Anywhere in South
You
America.
got Peru. You got Hey, Nicaragua. Go to Costa Rica. Go to Costa Rica.
I'll go to
Rica's
Costa
beautiful.
Rica. I heard that place is fun.
Alright, Khaleesi.
So, PB, quick question. Are there missionaries in Israel? Do they need it out there, or are they like? Oh,
There
man.
are missionaries everywhere. There's actually my mind's not working right now, but there is a certain area called like a red zone where missionaries are at, but if people know where they're at, they can be hunted down and killed.
Oh,
Some of them
yeah.
are like death
Uh,
missions, huh?
Yeah, there's something window. My mind is just blanking out right now.
The Bermuda Triangle.
But it's basically more of the Middle East where it is illegal to bring people to Jesus. And you will be punished by death or torture. And some of these places are like, China. Some of these places are Afghanistan or, Iraq, Iran.
That's nuts.
And so missionaries that go over there, they can't go in as missionaries. They can't go in even proclaiming Jesus in the traditional sense. They have to go undercover. They have to go and build relationships and love people to the Lord to a point where, hey, I'm willing to risk my life to hear what this Jesus guy has to say.
That's some good stuff right there. Imagine really doing the Lord's work right there. But I think I would go to. Where would I go? I'd want to go to Israel. Actually, I don't know if I just want to go there so badly, or if I'd want to go as a missionary. I think I just want to go there.
I want to go to
badly.
Israel
That'd be
so
cool.
badly.
Yeah, trip. Come on, cabin time. Fund us, man. Let's
Cabin time in Israel. Let's
Hey,
go.
cabin time,
That'd be
Israel.
sick. Oh my goodness.
You guys know you want to see that. Tell me you don't
Bring
want to
us
see that.
Out in the sand.
Yes, bro.
We should do it where Sodom.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we should do it where all like those sulfur deposits, all those like covered in sulfur, where Sodom
Then
and
we can
Gomorrah
see
used
why
to
women
be.
are so salty. But Lot's
Okay.
wife, salty. No, okay.
Alright, if it's United States, it would be like Hawaii. If it's out of country, Japan. I
Oh,
want to go to
Japan.
Japan so bad, dude.
nice,
Bro, the baseball, because I'm a baseball guy. Bro, baseball
guy.
is like the biggest sport in Japan.
Really?
it is.
Yeah, dude.
What? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's because of after World War II. So
Dude, baseball is huge there, bro.
baseball.
I forget you could go in America, and there's a lot of places in America that I would want to go to. Like for a mission trip in America, I'd go to
Alaska.
Oh, dude.
epic
Yeah.
bro moments.
No
I was
way.
gonna go to
No
Alaska. Epic bro moments, dude. Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention, dude. It's dude time. This podcast,
All dudes.
dude. We're having dude time.
Bruh.
We should have just ran this one from a hot tub.
Oh,
dude,
bro.
that'd be hard.
That would be
That'd be
heaven.
hard. Dudes in a hot tub podcast coming at you soon.
That would be sick.
Come on, Cabin Time, fund us with a hot tub. Dudes in a hot tub. We'll drop 2 episodes a week if you guys could fund a podcast.
Dude,
A
that'd
hot
be
tub.
dope. Have a regular and then
Yeah.
a dude.
Dudes in a hot tub. That's
Dudes
what it'd
Dudes
be
in a
called.
hot tub.
Dudes in a hot tub.
We're trademarking that.
Yeah. Dudes in a hot tub. Or we'll even get some more girls so when Hannah comes, girls in a hot
this is getting weird
that'll
now.
have a,
All right.
yeah, that would I
Take
just
that
wanted
back.
I wanted to be equal for the genders. Maybe
Girls.
yeah, I don't know.
Let's
Yeah.
just-
I don't know where to put the girls in a setting where it doesn't sound weird coming out of my mouth.
So, with that, we just simply say, okay.
It'll be girl time.
Girl time.
Girl time.
There we go.
Girl time.
All right, guys. I have a crazy would you rather that I was also thinking of at work. Since I'm already going through the line and asking you guys where you go on a mission to. All right, so I was thinking, would you rather fight a raccoon every morning? Like you have to wake up and you're like, oh, 8 a.m. Gotta fight that raccoon again. Here we go. Or, easier challenge. Would you fight a squirrel? But it has to be like every 2 hours of the day.
I heard one where you have to fight a squirrel every time you enter your car. Where like it's the squirrel in there, you have to fight it.
Oh, let me tell you guys, squirrels are notorious ninja assassins. I had to deal with a flying squirrel one time. It took over 50 people to take it out of that dang apartment.
I actually heard that story.
So I'm gonna have to say raccoon because A, they have hands. We have hands. Rock, paper, scissors, easy peasy. There you go.
Dude,
you don't have to solve anything.
Oh.
And then he's on his way. Or better yet, hey, here's some toast. And you suddenly have Miko from Pocahontas. And now you're best friends.
Bro,
Literally,
I
this
just
win-win now.
Whoa.
Honestly,
Flipped it
yeah,
on you, bro.
Don't even ask us anymore.
I know. The scenarios. What would you do, Sam?
Is if I had to fight it, because he chose to befriend.
You have to fight. You have to do some WWE on one of them.
Honestly, I'd fight the raccoon.
Wow, you guys are brave.
I'd fight the raccoon because they're bigger. It's easier for me to at least catch and or hit.
But they have hands.
But I have hands, bigger hands than they do.
Give me that mic. I'm about to spit some knowledge right now. All right, here's why I'm gonna toast a squirrel in a fight every 2 hours. I would straight up grab that squirrel by the neck. I don't want to like sound like too like violent on the podcast.
If you can catch that squirrel.
We do talk about God, but God's creation, you know, it's a would you rather. It's hypothetical, but I would grab that squirrel by the neck, and I would choke slam that thing like 2-finger choke slam.
But
I
what
would-
if it
dude,
grabs hold of your hand and now you can't let go?
Squirrels are like so small. Honestly, if we're being honest, if I see that squirrel, I'm gonna easily just step on it, pin it down with my foot, and step on it with my other foot.
They're fast. Next thing you know, you got squirrels in your pants.
Yeah, but the squirrel's gonna try to fight me anyway, so he's not.
No one got the except me. It's all good.
The squirrel. Okay, first of all, the squirrel's not gonna run away from you. Like if you try to do that in the wild of California, if you try to do that in the wild, the squirrel's gonna run away. But the squirrel's trying to beat me up too because I have to fight the squirrel.
That's true.
It's life or death. So if he's standing in front of me, I'm stepping on him, and I'm just gonna step on him with my other foot. And that also like, have you guys?
I don't think you understand the power that squirrels have or the sheer ferocity. It's not as simple as you kick and it's gone. Those grippers, they grip with steel claws. Like it can hang onto your pants. It can get into your pockets. It can get in your
All
shirt.
right, we're done.
Stop the video.
We're done.
What are you doing, Tim?
Okay.
Tim
so
looks like he's gonna fight a raccoon.
honestly, my thought process is a raccoon every 2 hours. You said.
No, you fight the
Squirrel
raccoon
every
when you
2
wake up,
hours.
so you're kind of tired, honestly. You
Okay,
haven't even had your
raccoon
coffee
when you
yet.
wake up. Squirrel every 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, bro, you're gonna be like just getting out of church, and you gotta fight a squirrel.
In front of everyone.
Like nah, like think about the inconvenience of that. Like
parking lot.
in a restaurant, at a family dinner,
If you time it wrong.
if you time it wrong,
Yeah.
like you're gonna have to schedule your entire day around this stupid squirrel fight.
Schedule my day around
Around
Oh.
squirrel fights.
12
2 a.m.
p.m.
squirrel fight.
12 p.m. I gotta fight that squirrel again. My bad.
So I'd go with the raccoon. I feel like it would be a good wake up.
What if you're sleeping, and like 2 hours go by when you're sleeping?
Yeah, it's like
Cheap 'em.
Or like when you're sleeping, every 2 hours go by when you're sleeping. Like 2 a.m. fight the squirrel. 4 a.m. you gotta fight that
Oh,
squirrel.
I didn't even think
6
about
a.m.
that.
you gotta
Oh,
fight
that's
that squirrel.
brutal. That's
Oh my-
brutal.
dang, I didn't even think of it like that.
I'm fighting that raccoon in the morning. I'm fully rested.
See,
So
Give me that mic. Give me that mic.
raccoons, man.
Bro, have you guys ever even seen how violent a raccoon is though?
yeah, but you can
But it's big.
punt.
You
Punt-
can punt a raccoon.
Wait. Do you have to kill the?
I don't think it's fight to
Whoa.
the death. Cause if it's fight to the death, then the moment that you lose to that squirrel, then he's gonna kill you too.
That's
Because,
true. So you just gotta
Mm.
beat it up.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. You punt a raccoon,
GG's.
and you'll get really good at punting it.
Yeah.
Like you'll know how fast it comes at you. You'll know
Dang,
the
you're
direction
right.
it comes at you. You just punt it.
Low key changing my mind right now.
That's right.
That word.
Dude, can you
punt
believe
is
that?
pretty
See
funny.
what happens when you sit down and have a civil conversation with two different opinions, rather than just canceling the other guy.
Man, that sounds so good.
We're just talking about squirrels and raccoons here. What do you mean?
You know, since it's all dudes here, what do you guys think of Andrew Tate?
I was literally just gonna bring up Andrew Tate too, because I was thinking of my next was like, do you guys like cats or dogs more? Because Andrew Tate said, and he made a good point, like one of his very few good points. Like, I know, like I don't agree like with anything he says about women, but like this was a good point, and it only has to do with cats and dogs. So I'm not like in the red zone or anything. But he said, I remember this. He said, if you die and you have a cat by your side, what's the cat gonna do? He's gonna eat you because he's hungry. Like if you two are the last two people in the world, and it's just you and the cat, you die, cat's gonna eat you. If you die with a dog, the dog's just gonna be sad and probably starve to death because he's waiting for his owner to wake up. Because dogs are loyal. And cats. I've never seen a cat like love a human. You know, maybe I'm wrong because
I'm sorry, you're right.
Whoa,
I've never
whoa.
seen cat love in general.
This is where we split decisions because I have a cat and I have a dog, so I have both opinions here. If you don't have both, you can't have an opinion about a cat. If you don't have a cat, you can't have an opinion about a cat. Is that fair?
No, I don't think that's.
I'm just saying,
I think that's wrong.
cats will literally kill me, so I have a predisposed negatory view towards cat and cat
Yes.
kind.
I also do as well.
Deathly.
That's
If
your
you want
fault.
to kill me, bring a cat.
That's your fault.
How's that our fault?
Don't be allergic to cats. Andrew Tate.
You right? Just breathe air.
All right, is it really bad that I never actually heard Andrew Tate?
No.
I know the
honestly.
name because of
serious?
how.
it's not bad. That's good for you.
Yeah, it is good.
You
Cause,
saved yourself a lot of time.
Because I haven't even heard much about Andrew Tate. But he did do a podcast, a 5-hour podcast with someone that I actually want to listen to just to hear what is
Whoa.
actually happening. But I was reading the comments and
Who was
dude,
it with?
I don't know, some like billionaire or millionaire. But he got deleted off all social media. And he was explaining that, which is very fishy on both ends, because he was like, I didn't do anything wrong. Which, I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't even know the reason why he doesn't know the reason why he got deleted.
I don't know enough to make a.
Yeah, neither do I.
So,
I'm
I
just
think I
looking
know.
at you because
I think it's because I think some like, you know, like we work with middle schoolers and high schoolers. Some of them are like so underdeveloped that anything they hear is truth to them.
That is
So
fair.
like when he speaks on women, I think their brains were literally believing that about women because that's like
Oof.
the most recent thing they heard. So they would go to school, and I've heard of a teacher, like a lot of her students were not locally, like I just saw like an article somewhere, but her male students were really like heckling her a lot in class, like saying like what
Oh,
what is
that's
a woman
bad.
doing teaching us, you know?
no, yeah, see,
And that's like when it gets
Really?
draw the line, because you watch Andrew Tate and that's what happens. But
yeah, if that's
Mhm.
if that's what your fan base becomes and you don't stop anything, yeah, you
yeah,
at that point,
Power
yeah,
influence.
Exactly.
honestly, I think they should have, because it is freedom of speech. Like at the end of the day, whether you agree with it or
Mhm.
not, it's freedom of speech, you know. Like, but also, you know, whoever owns Facebook, next time own Facebook if you want. You
That's
know,
true,
this
it is a-
person on and this person off.
Yeah.
You can't get mad at the person. That's like me having my own podcast, and
Mhm.
I want someone on, I want someone off. You know, it's up to me. It's my podcast. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
make your own podcast. You
Yeah.
know? So I mean, you could agree with Marky Mark up there, or you can't. But and you could also agree with freedom of speech. But either way, it is a sticky situation. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that guy Andrew Tate, pretty nuts. I haven't heard of him in a while too. I think he's slowly gonna start.
I think they're trying to cancel him.
Dude, he's off of all social media. He doesn't
Mhm.
have any social media. No one knows about him because he's not on any social media.
Mm.
But he was on that. It was like last week that podcast was, and it has millions of views.
Oh, that's
already.
nuts. Yeah, because people were waiting for him.
Yeah, so who knows? He was trying to fight. Like I listened to very little of it, but he was talking about how he's going to, he's trying to not like fight back because you can't really do anything. It's a private company; they could do what they want. But he was like, just trying to figure out what he can do to just be relevant. Because if you're not on any social media, no one knows about you.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you have no presence anywhere.
That's so crazy how it is now. Like, a time before social media, a time before phones. Like, bro,
It was bliss.
I would die because not like talking about like I need to call my friends. Like, if I need someone to be here and I need a ride, like, how am I gonna tell them where I'm at? I would just. They used to do this. They used to be like, "Hey, I'm gonna be here at this time," and you just trust that.
Well, I'm just. Okay. Please understand, I am dating myself. I am a millennial. I grew up in the 90s. Praise the Lord. I lived before the age of cell phones. And I remember you memorized your friends' numbers. And you would schedule yourselves at someone's house and you would go over there and then you would go together on your adventures. Or you would meet at the mall at a pre-disclosed location. And that was simply it.
And you guys would just trust each other.
You
that
trust
you guys would all
each
be
other
there.
completely because if you didn't, there was no way. Unless you went to a pay phone, but who has money to do that?
And how do you know that they're next to their phone too? You know, like.
I have a question. How much was gas back then? Because I've talked to some people at church. I won't name any names, but they're older, and I talked to them like, how much was gas? Because it's a very like interesting topic. He's like, I remember when I could go to the gas station with a quarter or with a gas can and come back with change from a quarter.
So
I was like, what?
I would say this. I didn't give a rip about gas at the time because I was a teenager.
Yeah.
However, I do remember $2 and something cents at one point. But
around here, locally.
In this area, undisclosed location
Well,
that no one knows about, and we shall cut out any edited information.
No, I thought about that while we were talking about it. They can easily find us. I mean,
So
if you,
okay, well then come and find me and say hi. I would love to pray for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I didn't really care about gasoline. We were just watching TV and MTV back when it was music videos and not reality TV and all the good stuff of the 90s and 2000s. I miss it.
I know, that's nuts. I can't, like, before, when I make plans with someone and it's gonna happen, I call them like 10 minutes before. I'm like, so you're still going, right? You're gonna be there in 10 minutes, right? All right, okay, good. I can't just go and just trust them. I'll be like, they ain't gonna be there.
I feel like you may have been abandoned at some point in time. That's some deep psychological
Or
error.
even like for my mom, like I gotta call my mom, and like when I was in high school and I needed a ride, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get out of school right now. Okay. And then she comes, or like, I'm gonna be over here. You know how inconvenient it is to not have a phone right now? That's why, like, when I grow up and I have a kid, I'm not gonna give him like an iPhone. I don't want to raise an iPad kid, but I need that flip phone.
So do you think, guys, that maybe our identities are now tied to our phones in this current culture?
They are.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm just saying, like, my kid needs to call 911 or me, and they get.
I have the same thing, but I think where we are, it's going to be impossible to not have your kid have a phone, because everything from like where we are going forward is going to require technology. You're not going to be able to know what time it is because you don't have your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. How many clocks do you see, like,
Literally
ever?
in
I mean,
classrooms.
And even they are most of the time broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like with that, it's so crazy how, like, sorry, older people, but a lot of old people have such a hard time accepting that times are changing. Like, technology is almost everything nowadays, but they're trying to grasp so hard on the past.
Yeah.
And I'm like, time is moving.
Almost like us in 5 years.
Yeah.
Huh?
Old man Jenkins.
Just saying.
You in 5 years.
I think I'm gonna stay
Even
up to
us,
date.
Like, it's crazy how advanced technology goes to where we even in our culture, like 10 years from now, 5 years from now, they're going to be adding new things and
That's
new
true.
cultural things that we will have no
Yeah.
clue how it works.
That's
I mean,
nuts.
even like social media in the last 5 years has changed drastically from the mid 2000s before 2020.
Yeah. Even like the trends on social media, like
Mhm.
if you look at a picture from like 2012, even like 2016, you're like, why was there so many filters on this?
Yeah.
I'm like, why were you shuffling? Who remembers that,
I
huh?
was thinking about that actually pretty recently. Like when we're older, are we gonna still be, at least us, are we still gonna be in touch with social media and technology as it goes? My opinion is yes. You, PB, just because you are older than us, probably not. And I don't mean that to diss you.
Yeah.
I mean that because we're in a completely different generation than
Yes. Now, obviously, I'm a little bit different because as a youth pastor, it's my job to know the teenagers.
true.
So,
Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
keeping up.
so that's why
That's
I'm
true.
on it. But you're right. A lot
Yeah.
of people, they stick with Facebook for social media purposes, and that's it. But when it comes to anything else beyond that, they're clueless on these things.
Uh-huh.
Especially now with everything becoming an app and everything being purely digital instead of paperwork. We are going to see some of the more difficult.
I do think you're keeping up pretty well though. Like,
Thank you.
dude, this guy's on B Real, huh? Come on.
I know.
Yeah.
Dude, B Real's the bee's
Dude,
knees. I
was
love
just
B
about to
Real.
say that. What's
Yes,
up with
bro.
everyone in B Real?
I know, dude. I'm keeping up. You know, I'm on the new social media, huh? I'm not left in the dust yet. Don't count me out. B Real's tight though. It's like all the people that I lost contact with in high school. I see them. I'm like, dang, I know what they're doing every day now. At least for that quick 5 minutes of the
Yeah.
day where they snap that photo in B Real.
All right, guys. I'm going to be real. Who here?
There's no way.
So when you're taking those photos, are you like, oh gosh, I have 2 minutes. Where's the best place to look? I don't want to use the same photo again, even though I've been in the same exact couch last time. I don't want people to think I'm boring. So what am I gonna do?
Okay, I definitely have done that before. I'm like, I don't want to be boring. I gotta find a place. It's like run and find a place. to
Dude,
get a
low
picture.
key me too. But I was watching YouTube and Gary Vee talked about how he wanted to create this app. Like already, like he's like, what if we made this app where wherever you are, you just have to post? Like he talked about this before Be Real was a thing. But I was thinking, I'm like, he's like, someone was talking or whatever. They were talking about like, yeah, you just gotta. It's the point is to be real, like whatever you're doing at that time. So I've done that once where I was like, I don't want to just be in my room. I'm literally doing nothing right now. So I'll like walk around and just take a picture.
I'm as real as it gets on Be Real. Some of mine are boring. Some of it is like my face on one end and my toes on the other end because I'm real on that app.
Yeah, dude.
And mine are boring.
Dude, yeah. When I see Kalai's, I'm like, no. This guy 100% was like, oh, Be Real, snap picture, post. Because he'll just be like, I think it was either today, you were literally laying on the floor, like, with your, like, sister or, like, your brother's, like, thing, and you just, like, took a picture right then and there.
Peep, I don't think I took mine today. How about we take it for the pod?
Oh, okay.
All of
let's
our
go.
happy campers are gonna be in the Be Real. Oh yeah, I didn't take mine yet. All right, I'm being real. Hold up. What angle should I get?
Get him too, and then
Yay! Oh,
That's
Sam
fire.
wasn't in it.
Oh
Let's
my
go.
God.
I'm real
Redo
right
it,
now.
Redo it.
I'm real right now.
Oh.
I don't even know how to exit. Okay, here we go. Being real. Oh yeah, podcast. Be real.
That's fire.
We're out here being real.
Add us on Be Real.
It's nice that we're being real in a world
be
where
honest.
it's all fake. So
the Be Real. I want to say I'm being real because I take it in the moment. I'm not gonna lie. I've been trying to do some funny stuff.
we're
with
being
my
real
photos.
with the be real. Get it? No, okay.
You're just a youth pastor.
Yeah. But I've been trying to do. I took another attempt of one where like I put my hand right there, like and put my arm right there, so it looked like I was like choking myself out. And the other one where I was like pointing at myself, and then the other one was pointing at like confused. I've been trying to do those funny ones. And
Yeah. I like if you guys should add anyone on this podcast, it should be Sam and Timmy because they actually post really good B reels. If you want a
Thank
real
you.
if you want a real guy though, I'm right here.
Come
Man.
on.
You know,
And then if you want a millennial, right there.
if
Hey.
you want someone riding a dinosaur, I'm just like
Actually, low key, I kind of want to ride a dinosaur now. That sounds fun.
Are
I wish we had
dinosaurs real?
dinosaurs. Oh,
Honestly, I don't think dinosaurs are real. We were talking about this yesterday. Me and Hannah, we were watching Jurassic Park. I was like, yeah, I mean, the fossils are there, but who knows if that was just like a really big horse or like.
So
Let's hear the 8 years of seminary.
whoa, now don't be. So okay. This is my personal opinion. I don't give a rip if there's real dinosaurs or not. I really don't. That happened back then. It has no correlation here. However,
you love Jurassic Park.
I do love Jurassic Park. It's so much fun. However, it, like Kalai said, it's so easy that, oh yeah, we assume that these work together.
Yeah.
And in reality, they could have been different pieces. They fell apart, or random things happen. We don't know if dinosaurs are the dinosaurs that we know, or were they just bears that adapted because it was warmer or colder, or whatever. We don't know. So in the end, it doesn't matter. The past is the past. We should be looking to the future.
Dude, can I say something about that?
Go for it.
Dude, someone was texting me, one of our youth kids, just asking for some advice, asking for prayer. And I was telling him about that, telling him how what happened in the past, it's got to stay in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you got to move on. You got to realize, you got to wake up the next day and realize, all right, it's a new day. Carry that cross and keep moving.
Oh, let's go.
Master Uguay vibes.
Yeah.
Yes,
dude.
sir.
And then Tim disappeared with a bunch of flowers.
He got swooped up by a bunch of leaves.
Who does it good?
But don't you wonder about the dinosaurs, Tim?
I do. Me, personally, I'm kind of in the same way with PBs. Like, I don't really care. But also, it's like, be cool if they did exist.
I don't know. For me, I'm like, dude, nowadays, they're telling us, like, oh, yeah, all big dinosaurs actually had feathers. I'm like, you're telling
They're
me.
really just giant birds.
Yeah, like,
That's
you're
all
either
they
telling
really
me,
are.
like, either they're really giant birds. You don't know, dude. Like, dinosaurs, you see the fossils, they could be just, like, covered in fur. They could be covered in, like, hair, and we wouldn't know because.
But tell
we
me,
don't
how
have the
cool would it
skin.
have been to see a T-Rex just running across?
running
That would have
down?
been
Oh,
sick.
that would be awesome.
That would have been sick.
Dude.
It's kind of like with the human fossils. All these.
Oh, yeah.
you know,
30 million years
the
old.
way some of the school books go, it feels like, oh yeah, there's thousands of skeletons fully preserved, and you look at what they're basing everything off. It's a tooth. It's like a tooth. And you're like, how do you know this is
Yeah.
even human
You
tooth?
mean to tell me I was a fish? My great grandpa was a fish. You mean to tell me that? And I was watching this guy do what's his name? Dore Love. It's this guy. He's one of those guys that stand on the sidewalk and throw Jesus at everyone's
Oh
face.
yeah, yeah.
But the thing with him is he stands there and he talks. He has like a civilized conversation with the
Yeah.
other person, and the other person was like, "Jesus isn't real. How do you know it's real?" He was like, "How do you know George Washington's real?" Like, it's in the science books. It's in the math books. It's in the history books. And then they're like, "Well, how do you know he's real though? It's just some guy saying he was real. Do you know someone from that day who said he was real?" And he was like, "No." And he's like, "Same thing with Jesus. I mean, there's no one really there to say he was real, but I mean, he was in a book too. I mean, he's just as real as George Washington because they have the same amount of evidence as each other."
Dude, I always find that crazy because people will do anything to disprove Jesus.
Debunk.
But like anything else, they'll just believe. But when it comes to Jesus, it's like, boom, no.
Yeah, they've already put in their hearts that he's not real, and nothing you can say will ever change that. And it's so funny when they say, "Oh yeah, give me the proof." They already know that there's not enough proof. Literally, if Jesus showed up right now with fireworks saying, "I am Jesus," they would still not believe that he's Jesus.
Yeah.
They would say, "Oh, I'm mentally insane," or all these various things. Yeah, so there's no way. I mean, in reality, we're not arguing about proof. We're not arguing about any of these things. It's already in their hearts whether or not
Yeah.
they're going to even be open to believe. And most people are not.
It's purely emotion too. What I usually end the argument because sometimes they just start to like insult you physically, and I'm like,
Oh, I know.
I
that.
had nothing to do with this. They're like, "That's why you're just ugly and you look like this." I'm like, dude, we were arguing if Jesus was real or not. Like, no, but like, you know how people get like that. Like even
Dude.
when we were on the podcast, they're like,
Yes.
they called Pastor Brian jawline. I was like, he wasn't even talking about his
No.
jawline. He was literally just talking about Jesus. And this guy was like, oh yeah, he's just as messed up as your jawline. And I was like, dude, that's how you know. Like,
It's okay.
they're
I
not-
love you, buddy. If you're watching this right now, I love you. Thank you for insulting my jawline. I appreciate you.
Oh yeah, me too. I like his jawline too.
I don't see anything wrong with his jawline. I mean,
But it's just like, you know, like it's kind of not really worth the time, because a lot of the time there's some people who you just gotta pray for them to come around one day. It's
oh my.
and when they start turning it into like just an insult battle, it's just like, just end the argument. They're not gonna end up coming around.
Yeah, just love them with kindness. Honestly,
Yeah.
when people start arguing, they start getting mad at you. Just start showing the love that God has for all the people.
Heck
You
yeah.
know, that's what we're supposed to do, is love people, and and obviously preach through action, not just with words. And so they'll get mad or whatever, but hey, God loves you, and I'm gonna love you too.
Yeah.
Even if you call me the most
Yeah.
terrible names on earth, and there's no way you speak to your mother with that mouth.
I just I don't like just say, all right, I'm done with you. I just say like, oh, okay, that's nice. All right, well, see you next time. I'll see you around. I'm not the type. I'm not gonna keep the conversation going, but I'm not gonna be mad at him.
Mm-hmm.
I just end it.
That's right.
All right, well, you're just gonna insult me, and it's crazy how sometimes you even bring up God, and they just immediately get like insulted. I'm like, I'm not even insulting you.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to spread God with you, you know.
Oftentimes there's usually some personal story or something deeper going on. That's why they're so mad at things. They're not even mad at you. They're not even mad at the situation, but there's something happening. That's where it's being reflected to.
Yeah.
And so if there is ever an argument, let's find out what is really going on so we can help and alleviate this pain, so that we can make be friends and everything. And then we can see it really true or not, if Jesus is Lord. And once you encounter Jesus, then you know for a fact.
Yeah, that's good that we're talking about this too, because a lot of people watching are Christian and they probably don't really know how to deal with that. Me myself, I don't really know how to deal with that. Like someone I tell them about me, what I'm interested in. I'm interested in God. I'm interested in the church. I like to be a youth leader. I like to do all these things, and then they just whoa, and they just start to get all mad. I don't know how to respond to that, and that's good how you're dropping some knowledge there, pastor vibes, huh?
Oh, thank
For all
you.
you guys out there, just love them.
I can
I'm
marry
praying
you
for you.
and bury you. Sometimes in the same day.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Have you ever married or buried anyone?
No, not yet.
Is that the goal?
Well, actually, I almost married a person that wanted me to marry them as in a Batman costume. Like,
Ah.
I'm obviously a big Batman fan, and so I had two students back in another state that's like, Pastor Brian, we want you to marry us. I'm like, I would be honored to marry you guys, but here's the catch: you have to wear a Batman suit. And I'm like, bet, say when. And I was fully ready to do it. However, obviously they broke up and
Oh, that's tough.
that didn't happen. But I came this close to saying, "Dearly beloved, I'm Batman."
Was that recently?
No, this is like, oh gosh, 6 years ago maybe.
Dude, I hate. Have you guys ever struggled with this when you got a burp on the pod, but these mics pick up anything? They could hear like the rat in the next county farting in a closet.
Dude,
Like-
speaking of that.
Oh, speaking of that,
Speaking of a rat farting.
No. Speaking of the mics, guys, we're fixing every single episode. We are improving.
Yep, we went over this before, yeah.
Yeah, did we? Today?
No, and I said like
Oh,
sometimes
oh.
we do sound ghetto and
Oh, yeah.
and we're working on
Sometimes
it.
we do. But we're always testing new things. Like today, we have a whole new setup. Whole new setup. And we fixed some of the mic issues. At least I hope we did. But it's all a process.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Give us a year.
It's a process, as you can tell.
It is a
journey.
process. But it's all... Can I share a Bible verse that I was studying?
Yeah, let's
Share a Bible
go.
verse.
Okay, so PB, you were speaking about Proverbs.
hold up.
Oh.
Before we get into Christian talk, I always like to say this line. Hey man, aren't we supposed to be Christian on this podcast? All right, let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
There's Phoebe's hat.
R.I.P. my hat.
This
My
guy.
receding hairline now.
Oh no.
It's all good, PB. Okay, so you talked about this, how you preached on Proverbs, and I'm studying Proverbs right now. Guys, Proverbs is the best book in the Bible. So much wisdom in here. But okay, I was reading Proverbs 12:18. The words of the reckless pierce like swords, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Dude, that's deep.
That's good.
Hey, I just read that too.
Wait,
You just read
and
that?
then this one, verse 25. Anxiety weighs down the heart, but a kind word cheers it up.
Ain't that
Man,
the truth?
wait, I have something to say. When something like that happens, like when you and like a buddy that you know coincidentally are reading the same Bible verse at the same time, there's definitely something in the mix. Like, try to look deeper into that Bible verse and what God's trying to say, because he's definitely trying to say something right now through that.
Dude, yeah, let's go
Yeah.
deep into Proverbs, man.
I know, dude.
Let's go.
I love
Yeah.
Proverbs.
And it's
dude.
crazy because I wasn't reading Proverbs. I was doing a devotion, I think on Saturday, and it was that same exact verse. And I didn't think, well, obviously I think much of it when I'm reading it, but you know, it's a devotion. I took it into account, try to see how I could use that in my life. But now that I'm hearing it again, I might have to look back into that and see. Read that gas one more time for me again.
Okay, I got
Let
you.
me hear that.
Verse 18. The words of the reckless pierce like swords, but the tongue of the wise brings healing.
Yes. What would you do with that? I don't know.
All right, I'm just saying, when you think of the reckless, you think of people who are in the moment, they're so frustrated, so they say things that they may not even mean, but they'll say things just so they get a reaction. Sometimes parents or, relationship people, or if I'm single, I don't have a relationship, or friends, when you're mad, you just want them to feel the same pain that you're feeling, so you'll say something that you regret, and it causes harm. But when you say a kind word, when you say a word that is gentle, it brings such healing to you. And that's why a real friend is a friend that builds you up. A real friend is one that will speak truth in a loving way, and they're the ones that you want to be around because you feel better about yourself. You feel like you can keep on going when you have that healing word.
Dude, yes. We were talking about this last podcast about tips and tipping people and how much one tip can like go a long way. And this kind of has like the same thing. Like, you can tip someone and it'll be the happiest. Like, that will turn their day around. And I found that verse so cool, especially as I'm reading Proverbs. Like, I'll literally be in bed like 11:30 p.m. like at night, and I'm just going through Proverbs, dude. I've never had this much fun reading the Bible than I have reading Proverbs.
Let's go.
There's
man.
so
Shouts
much
out.
knowledge and wisdom in here, dude.
Shouts out Proverbs. Everybody read Proverbs.
Hey, man, that's the challenge.
Yeah, but I challenge everyone watching this podcast, build people up with your words, man. Pastor Kevin was just talking about that too, huh? It does more than you think it does. Even if it sounds like something small, you never know who's really going through it that specific day.
That's it.
And you also, it goes on the other side of the spectrum too. Like, when you're mean to that cashier or something, you never know what they're going through that specific day. You could have been that cherry on top that just sends them home.
Actually, to kind of go with your thing, I work at Starbucks, part-timer, and there was a moment where a lady comes rushing into our store, and she seemed like she was really fluttered, and she's trying to get her drink, and man, her drink is just not made right, and you can see that she's on the verge of tears. And I just remember saying, "Hey, my dear, I just want to say everything's gonna be okay. You are amazing. You're wonderful." I try really hard not to lie, so if I say something, it's because I truly believe it. And I kid you not, she's looked and she started to smile. And she said, "Thank you so much. I needed to hear that today, that everything was going to be okay." You have no idea the power of words, that it can literally change the direction and course of someone's life by simply saying, "Hey, you are going to be okay. We love you."
Yeah. You never know who else is saying that to them. That's why. Because there's a lot of people, you could go around and really ask someone, how many times has someone said, "I love you" to you? Like, sometimes they don't hear it at all, like, ever from anyone. Because, not all my friends, like, we don't just go to each other and say, "Hey, I love you, man." Like, that's cool to hear. You know, it makes you feel nice. But I mean, you know, being guys, since it is Guy Time Pod, like saying I love you sometimes, like some guys they take that as like being soft, you know, or, and sometimes that's just not the type of relationship that you have with other family members to say I love you all the time. So someone could have a fine family life, have a fine friends life, but sometimes they could really be thinking of that like, man, when was the last time someone told me I love you? Like,
Yeah.
and it doesn't even have to be in that intimate sense. Like, just love people, man.
That's it. That's our job.
We're literally told to love others just as much as we love ourselves.
And
That's
you see
right.
how like the world twists the word love. You know, it's so rare to hear now.
Yeah.
Even though we're supposed to love other people. Like, how many times do people just throw that word around? And when you do, everyone's like, "Dang, that's deep. He doesn't just like me, bro. This guy loves me, man. What the heck? That's kind of weird."
Oh, man.
Yeah, I tried to do that a lot with our youth students. Is just show them that I love them. Like I care for them, because some of them they don't have family members at home that care for them,
Yeah.
and they come here as an escape. And
Yeah.
I take it as my responsibility to show them the love of Jesus, but also show them that there's people out there that care. Like, you may have it rough at home, but when you come here, you're gonna be safe.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what we try to create at our youth ministry. A home.
Yeah.
A home where they can come in and say, hey, I'm safe here, and I know without a shadow of a doubt that these people love me. That I can be jerks to them and they'll still love me, because it's a oh, my mind just went blank, but it's an unconditional thank you. An unconditional love. We love them regardless, because God told us to love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so crazy when I think about that too, because sometimes when I'm going through spiritual warfare, a lot of the times I'll be hearing like a voice in the back of my head saying like, what the heck are you going to tell them? You didn't go through half of the things they did. Because a lot of these kids, man,
Oh my
dude,
goodness.
man, that's all I could say. Like, sometimes I think about my life and I'm like, man, I'm blessed with this life. Like, I didn't have to go through, I don't want to put it out there, but you know, like some of the, you guys all know like what some of them go through. And sometimes I'll be like, what am I going to tell them? Like, my life has been fine up till now. I mean, I've had my hardships, but nothing compared to what this guy's going through. And he's only
Yeah.
like, what, 12 years old?
Oh, it's
What am I
terrible.
going to tell him, man?
Yeah.
And that's just spiritual warfare, because honestly, what am I going to tell him? I'm just a vessel. I'm just supposed to take what God tells me and tell him that, you know. So that's what I try to remind myself is, what am I going to tell him? I don't have anything to tell him. Kalai doesn't have anything to tell him, but God has something to tell him.
That's right.
And God's going to use Kalai to tell him.
And isn't it so cool how God will work behind the scenes, and you'll think you're just saying something random, but it happens to be the right word in the right way that helps them make a difference. And you realize, wow, God gave me that word because I had no clue what I was saying. I just started saying something random, and out of nowhere, this Bible verse comes to my mind, or hey, I'm going to pray for them, or I say the right word that made them feel like, hey, this guy really cares for me. I love how God just does that. It's so insane.
You guys ever been in that God moment where you tell someone something in prayer and they say like, man, that really hit me, and you don't recall saying that at all? I was like, I didn't tell you that. I don't know where you got that from. They come up to you and I'm like, who told you this? I didn't say nothing like that. I was like, last thing I remember was we lift up our brother, and that's it. That's crazy though. I like showing that one verse on here. Didn't we have a question recently?
Oh yeah, the question was, why are Christians judgmental?
Oof.
Why are Christians
Dang, who typed
judgmental?
that? That's a sketchy. Not a sketchy. That's a what is
It's
it?
a question.
It's a question that
I take that question as they have been hurt by Christians.
Oh, absolutely.
100% been hurt by
100%.
Christians, and they're just trying to figure out, like, is it just a Christian thing, or is it this individual person was judgmental?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
I think the biggest thing that they're probably thinking of is like, I don't want to go there, but it's
It's hard, man.
Oh.
It's hard to say, you know.
It's just like, because the Bible, there's so much stuff in the Bible that goes against culture now.
Yeah.
And I think what
Especially-
people
yeah.
see is like people who are questioning God already, you see like, oh, this isn't how culture is. This isn't how it's portrayed now. And they're like, wow, Christians are so judgmental, but really this is the law. This is the law, and we go by the Bible.
That's
while
right.
the world goes about the world.
Yeah, and the world's always changing. The Bible's the Bible. It'll always
Yeah.
be the
That's
Bible.
right. Oftentimes, when we point something out, it's that they're reflecting. It's like, oh man, I gotta change, and I don't like having to change.
Personal
The light
conviction.
is being shown on it. It's almost like this. You see a friend going onto the freeway. I don't know why they'd be on the freeway, but there's an illustration.
Yeah.
And if you saw your friend on the freeway walking through during traffic, you're going to scream, "Get away from there. You are going to die," because you love them. You care for them. At the moment, they're like, well, let me live my life, not realizing how close they are to danger. But, I mean, that's as Christians, that's what we're saying. Hey, friend, if you go down this path, you're going to enter misery. You're going to enter darkness. I care too much about you to say nothing. So it's not even so much about judgmental. It's that we love them enough to say something.
We care about them. We care about where they're heading. And that's what they don't get, is we actually care about them.
I think what you said is probably the biggest thing, is that the Bible now goes against everything that the culture today says. And previous episode, I'm the Mr. Private School Kalai was talking about. So I've been to Christian private school my whole life. Very blessed for that. But going to the high school, there's still going to be the people who don't agree with it at all. Mm-hmm. And so I've 100% have had classmates that have hated me because they know I am like I say real Christian. You know what I mean? Real Christian. I am very, serious about my faith and my walk with Jesus. And they have 100% hated me because of that. Because they think I'm judging them and they think I'm not going to like them because of their personal choices. Reality, that's not it at all,
Mm-hmm.
We love them no matter what. I've had this conversation with you a bunch of times about if students come in with, with their beliefs and that it doesn't go along with the Bible, what do? We love them, You continue to love them. I've had classmates ask me, like, if you have a friend, because they all know that I'm, like, here serving all the time, and they said, if you have a friend that, comes in and it just is completely wrong from what the Bible says, they're doing something that is completely wrong and against the Bible, like, what do you do? And I said, not knowing this, they were talking about a classmate that was sitting right next to me. And so what I said, they were listening. And so what I said, no matter what, the Bible says that we love them. And no matter if they don't agree with me or they agree with me or not, I'm still going to love them. And it helped that person more and more to where I could preach the Jesus to them.
Dude, I had something in my notes that I wrote that's about that. It said, I wrote this down just because it was like something that just motivates me. If Jesus loved me, I will love others.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that's like the biggest thing that I go by is like, if he can love me, why can't I love others?
That's right.
Yeah, and it's not up to us to judge others. It's up to God. We're not the person. I'm not the gatekeeper to heaven. If I judge you, I mean, it's not like I'm the one not letting you into heaven because it's not my home either. But a lot of the times it's just that they don't agree with what the Bible says.
That's right. And honestly, judgment is not even a negative thing. Everyone judges, whether you're a Christian or non-Christian. I mean, think about cancel culture. It's literally people saying, oh, this person's wrong. They just judge the person. What we're doing, we're discerning what God says is right and what God says is wrong. And then we're saying, this is what the Bible tells us. And so reality is just showing people, hey, this is God's way. It's a better way. It's a way full of life. So,
yeah, man. I saw this one guy. Hey, did you watch the new Impulsive? It was Roman Atwood.
Dude, no, that wasn't the newest one.
Oh, that's Roman Reigns. Roman Atwood.
Roman
Hey,
Atwood
they got
was
two.
good.
But Roman Atwood was telling us he was a famous YouTuber. He still is famous. He does a podcast, and he recently did start going to church because his mom passed away, and she went to church. And he said, if there's one place she would want me to be, it'd be here. So he tried it out, and I kid you not, he said, out of all, word for word, I'm paraphrasing, but this is basically what he said. Like,
word for word, I'm paraphrasing.
He said, like, out of all the money he's made off of YouTube, after all the fun he's had, all the experiences he's had, there's been nothing like God's
That's it.
presence over his life, and knowing Jesus, there's nothing like it. Because there's people, man, like, I could have all the money in the world, but it's not as filling as what it is. And people think I'm capping. I'm like, dude, I kid you not. If I didn't have God in my life, I don't care how much money you could give me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Man, that's so crazy though. I think though, back to what we were saying about if Christians are judgmental, I think when people don't agree with what the Bible says, they think it's the Bible's wrong and not them, and it doesn't matter. Truth is truth. Like, we believe in it, and it's truth. If we don't believe in it, it'll still be truth to me or to you, and this is truth to me. I believe in what it says, and I could not agree with it, but I'm not the truth.
Yeah.
God's the truth. Like, I could not believe in it, but
Yeah.
I'm not the truth.
Subjective truth.
Yeah.
Now, what's really crazy is oftentimes when they use that word judgmental, they're thinking of that scripture verse that says, do not judge. But if you look at what Jesus was actually talking about in Matthew, was as Christians, because he obviously, as believers, we are called to judge. We're called to know what's right and wrong. But what he's actually saying is, do not judge someone and then do the same thing that you just judged them against. Don't be a hypocrite. And that's when they go into the story of, don't try to get that speck out of your friend's eye when you have a giant plank in your own. First, get rid of that giant plank so now you can see clearly and help remove the little speck. And oftentimes, I mean, this is probably where Christians get their bad terminology, is they'll say, don't do this, don't do that, but they're just as guilty of doing the same exact thing. And, the world sees this and they're like, well, if you're doing the same thing as us, what's the difference?
Yeah, dude. That's big.
Honestly, I do think that some of these people have valid reasons of why they think Christians are judgmental, because there are bad noodles everywhere you go.
That's it.
Yeah. We could preach this all we want, but there could be a church, like in the next county or wherever, and they are the ones saying, yeah, don't do this, you're a horrible person and get out of here. Because I know people personally who have had that happen to them, and I'm like, man, that's not how my church is. Like,
Yeah.
I know that's how they were, but that's not how I am. That McDonald's in that city is not the same McDonald's over here. Okay, we're under different management, under the same God, but our manager, Ronald McDonald is still Ronald McDonald, but our manager is different. He carries.
Did you just...
You just made probably one of the greatest analogies that I've ever heard for a church and God. Ronald McDonald, church, different management. That is the greatest thing.
Listen though, like, God is God. He gives the law to the pastor, the lead pastors. Ronald McDonald wanted the McDonald's to all be this way, but some of the managers didn't get the memo. Like, their ice cream machine is broken.
Wait,
like,
do you think that Ronald McDonald created McDonald's?
wait, who's the owner?
Ronald McDonald is the mascot of McDonald's.
Okay, no. I read the prologue to the book you gave me, and it literally tells us the entire history of McDonald's. It was two brothers who started a business and were bad at
In Orange
actually
County.
franchising.
In Orange County.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew that.
Travis Scott.
Oh my gosh. No, they literally started and they were bad at franchising, and so another guy came in. He was like, "I'll buy it from you and I'll franchise it," and then he became.
And that's Ray Kroc, I believe.
Yeah, and that's how McDonald's and Disney were so close together, because one, they were both in Anaheim, and
Yeah.
Walt Disney and whatever his name is, and then it all started in what?
Nothing. Continue. I'm just.
Oh,
That was funny.
yeah, but yeah, it started in Anaheim.
There's one across the street from Disneyland too. There's a McDonald's across the street, and that one's a good one. See, I'm telling you, Ronald McDonald. See, when Ronald McDonald is really close to the to the manager, when Ronald McDonald and the manager are walking hand in hand, that McDonald's is always going to be the best McDonald's. When your pastor is walking hand in hand with God, then your church is always going to be.
That's a good analogy.
PB, you need to use this on youth.
Oh my goodness!
You heard it first here. Ronald McDonald is a Christian.
Wait. You need to use this analogy because kids will understand that. Students 100% will understand this.
Can we have a sermon series that's like fast food?
Oh
and
my
then,
gosh.
Bro,
Yes, we can totally do that.
Dude.
Okay,
And
wait.
guess who's preaching it? All you three.
spiritual Big Mac.
No, but for real,
Dude.
what I'm actually trying to say though
All right, let's get back to the
is there are bad noodles out there. Like you can't call someone wrong for asking us that because honestly, while we may never in a million years say something like that to them, whoever they went to church with, you know, there's bad noodles everywhere. You know, you just gotta pick a good location with people with the right hearts. You know, and I believe that our hearts are right. I've never had anything at all. You know, I've had the best years of my life here, and that's because we're under good management.
Well,
But
thank
yeah.
you. I'm not the manager. I'm like the assistant manager. Oh. So.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, guys. So this week, I guess you could tell we were kind of free balling here, but we'll come up with it.
Man, it was a fire.
Yeah, I like
That was
our
good.
talk, you know. But you know, we always got to end off with a banger and do something. It's not a challenge. Finally, guys, we won't be hurting ourselves this episode,
I hope not.
but we'll be playing a really fun youth game. All
Because I
right.
might be
You
dead.
weren't hurt, but I was hurt.
Yeah, just as the last episode was not that bad. The only person it was really bad for was like Kalai and Tim.
Oh,
It was horrible for me.
forks.
We're gonna joust each other.
You guys, dude, Kalai,
Wait, what?
Kalai, you are crazy for using the plastic fork.
All right, guys.
I don't know how you are.
No, it's actually a pretty sturdy fork.
Here we go. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Whoever drops it loses.
Wait, what are we doing?
Whoever drops it loses. I'm
He's
throwing
gonna,
this at you.
he's
You
gonna
better
throw
catch
it,
on your
and you're
fork.
gonna catch it on your fork.
Second round is your plastic forks because it's.
Oh
it's
gosh!
very-
All right, here we go.
This is nerve wracking.
I've
Wait,
never
wait,
done
wait.
this.
Do you have to throw it from the fork?
No, you have to go like that, and you let go of the fork, and it goes with it.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
All
What
right.
if it's a bad?
Guys, I'm gonna lose this.
What if
because-
it's a bad throw?
Okay, then
Redo?
it'll be up to the judges.
Guys,
Who's the?
Which is the other?
I'm nervous
Okay.
right now. I
It's-
don't know if
it's
I
us
can do
two.
this.
Okay.
It's the people.
There's a reason why I'm
not
a
doing it.
pastor and not NBA player.
What?
Oh! All right, you gotta hit Timmy.
Oh my God.
All right, ready?
And then you gotta throw it to
One,
me.
2, 3.
Oh, that's a bad throw.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of like in this
It's really.
corner.
I really
I'm-
want to win. So let's try that again.
Okay, I'm in this corner, so it's kind of hard for
I
me
want
to.
I want to do team building. right
Okay,
now.
ready?
No, wait, he's
No,
overhand.
no, it's not a
He's
tomahawk.
overhand.
You gotta just toss it.
Yeah.
All right, this is gonna be hard for me though.
Okay, just
I'm
throw it to
afraid.
Sam. Just
No, I'm afraid.
I just stick the
Yeah,
fork in.
just stick the fork in there. I guess.
Don't stab yourself, please.
Okay, here we go. All right, Sam, you gotta get that
Oh
one.
no, I can't. I can do it.
Oh!
Oh! Dude, it's
Really
hard.
good.
Bro, once there's.
No, I've seen people do like a whole table
Right,
full
right,
of
right.
it. I should got a bigger apple maybe.
You only have one apple? Dude, we heard that earlier too.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, thank you God for protecting over
So,
us. Jesus, for being in this
We
place.
might be haunted.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, let's just keep playing the apple.
Anyway.
Apple game.
Oh,
dang it.
tough.
Dude, this is.
Wow.
Here, wait, you gotta stick this fork
It was a pretty fun way to start off.
Oh gosh.
Maybe I could get it.
Guys, I lost my
Throw me a lob.
fork.
Throw me a lob. Just throw a nice.
Bro, there ain't no way you're gonna get it.
Dude, how are we gonna do the
Dude, I'm
plastic?
good. Don't worry about me.
Okay, I'm gonna go like this. Okay, ready?
Are we really going?
There's no way! Bro, but you have the shortest throw, which is kind of unfair.
Okay.
I have the longest. Not just
Yeah.
I have the longest throw.
Throw me one then.
Uh,
Our apple's gonna break. Alright, hurry.
all right,
Poke it into a decent
Okay.
spot. No. Poke
Okay.
your plastic fork in.
Oh, I
We'll
got
give you-
see.
We'll give you the pass. I just
Okay.
want to get this done. It's okay if we cheat.
Okay,
What is it?
so funny story. There it
Okay.
is. There it is.
He said funny
Okay.
story.
Alright, I'll
I
catch
lost
this.
it.
Okay, ready? 1, 2.
Dude, he's actually good.
You're really good at
Okay.
this.
Okay, stick it in all the way.
Alright. That's it for you.
Okay, throw it to Sam and then Sam will throw it to me.
Okay.
Dude,
I'm
I'm about
gonna
to get
I'm gonna give you this right here.
Please
I will
don't
give
get
you- I will give you the-
injured. Please don't get injured.
Oh!
Oh! I actually did that. Dude, that's actually...
Okay, give me that, the other end. Okay, that end. The
This
top
right here?
part, the top
Right
part.
here?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
All right.
Dude,
we gotta end
how
up
are
on
you
a
gonna
note.
throw-
We gotta
like
end up
that?
on a escape.
Okay.
Ready?
Wait.
Oh,
Oh, are you dead? Oh my goodness.
Oh,
That's so much. Oh, there's no blood. Never mind. Okay, that's just the apple.
Dude!
blood.
This guy threw a spiral.
All I saw was red
Bro.
splatter, and I was like,
I wanna
oh
land
no.
this, I wanna land this.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold it from the top.
All right.
You just have to fork it over.
Okay.
Get it? Because it's forks.
No. Hold it upside. Yes.
Like
and-
this.
Yes.
Okay, you ready?
Hey!
Oh.
No, give it again. I'm landing this.
Like this, right?
Yeah.
All right.
You ready?
Just edit out all the misses.
Yay!
A fork fell, but...
It's just a bunch of dudes,
Yeah.
bro. This is what dudes would do.
Yes.
Let's go.
All right.
Only guys would find this entertaining.
Wow. Look at that, dude.
Let's pass it around.
yeah.
Let's pass the torch.
Let's just
Everybody take a bite.
let's
I'm
nail
just
this.
kidding.
Let's nail this onto the wall. You know? Dude, we're gonna
No.
have the sock. We're gonna have the apple.
Did you keep the sock?
Yeah, I have it.
Alright, we all have to take a bite.
No.
No.
In the same spot.
I'm done going to the hospital. Thank you. very
Oh
much.
gosh.
All right, guys. Here's to another episode. Let me give you guys that good GTA cheat code at the end. So if you want to raise your wanted level in GTA 5,
Wait. Why would you want to do that?
okay, we'll lower your wanted level
There you
in
go.
GTA 5.
There we
huh?
go.
This is called repenting. Okay.
Repent.
R1 circle, R2 right left, right left, right left.
This is what I use.
Okay. And with that being said, thank you for tuning in to Cabin Time.
Woo!
See you guys
All
next-
Boys Podcast.
Yeah. See you guys next week, you bunch of happy campers.
Happy camper.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
See ya.